I'm Annie Nuttiger with my choice of classic essential mix. This Christmas is from the French duo Daft Punk, who I'm sure are joining me in saying Bon Noël.
Radio 1. Radio 1. Radio 1. Radio 1.
Wire from our on-campus studio in Boston. The views expressed in this show do not represent Wentworth Institute of Technology or the colleges of the Fenway. If you have questions or concerns, please contact Chris Scanlon at 617-989-4211. It is currently 10 o'clock on Tuesday, October 25th, and you're listening to The Decision 2016, the colleges of the Fenway's premier source for all things political. Today on the show, we'll be discussing the three presidential debates. I'm Mark Murbach, and I'm joined on the show today with my co-hosts, Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, and Caroline Rennie. But first, the news.
This is Jeffrey Huey. Our first news is John Oliver offering his Emmy to Donald Trump. John Oliver is raising the stakes with Donald Trump and putting one of his trophies as a prize. The host of HBO's Late Week Tonight made the presidential candidate offer during Sunday's night episode of his show. If Donald Trump loses the election in November, Oliver will give Trump his Emmy. Of course, he wants an Emmy, Oliver said. It's a woman, it's gold, and is proportionate to his hand size. Our second news, Saturday Night Live opened with likely and sadly the final debate between Alec Baldwin as Donald Trump and Kate McKinnon as Hillary Clinton. For the occasion, host Tom Hanks joined the fun in the role of the debate as Chris Wallace. In the sketch, Baldwin played Trump's attempt to restrain his intensity and his gloominess during the debate, only to scream, "They're ripping babies out of the vaginas," in response to the first question. Today's forecast has highs of 48, lows of 34, with mostly sunny. The next days we have highs of 48 as well as lows of 34, sunny as well. And on Thursday we have highs of 46, lows of 43, and rainy. The time is now 10:02.
The superhero that Boston needs. The average person creates 4 pounds of trash every day, but about 75% of this trash is recyclable. Just 100 soda cans could save enough energy to light your room for 2 weeks. Beatty Hall and many of the other buildings on campus have recycling bins that are clearly labeled. It only takes a bit of extra time. Your superpower could be reducing waste. This message is brought to you by the Leopard's Den.
So you've heard it over and over again. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But have you really been listening to your mom lately? Breakfast provides vital nutrients and energy for getting over that mid-morning slump. It also helps to maintaining a healthy body weight. Just grab some toast, fruit, or cereal and you're good to go. It takes just a few minutes every morning to be healthy. So start listening to your mom again. This message has been brought to you by The Lepers.
Do you like rock concerts?
Yes, of course.
Do you like listening to people talk?
Well, sure.
Did you know that normal talking volume is between 40 and 60 decibels, and rock concerts volume can be between 110 to 140 decibels?
Wow, no I didn't.
Now, headphones volumes can be upwards of 110 decibels, and I don't think you want to have a rock concert in your ears all day. Do yourself a favor, keep the volume down and
we're
take a
back.
break from all the noise.
You're listening
Brought
to
you
The
by
Decision 2016, Wentworth's own political coverage for the November elections, where today we'll be investigating different perspectives of the presidential candidates. I'm your host, Mark Murbach, and again I'm joined in the studio this morning with Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, and Caroline Rennie. Later in the hour we'll be joined by Stanley Emanuel, Wentworth student. So we're going to start by talking about the three debates as a whole. We're going to cover the main topics that they talked about. So let me throw this question out to you guys. Did you hear everything you wanted to hear during the debates? Is there anything that was missing, or are there any topics that really piqued your interest?
I want to say there's a lot that was missing. Policy and how they were going to be implemented, the clarity of what was going to be actually put in place for both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was a little worrisome. They went off topic, they went on attacks on each other, and they didn't really fulfill what the debates are really about, are showing what your policies are, what your character is, essentially, to the American people to convince them if they're still undecided.
Yeah, I think that was the most frustrating things for viewers as a whole, was even if the moderator kept trying to ask the right questions, it was the candidate's response to them with talking around, and it was very rehearsed and just wanted to plug the information that they wanted to talk about no matter what the question necessarily was.
Right, I agree with that. I mean, they got off topic so many times that sometimes you forgot what the question was.
Yeah, I totally agree. Specifically when in the first debate where Lester were asked certain questions, and then both candidates would completely interrupt him. Like, they tried to focus more on the image than what the people wanted to listen to.
That's why they said these debates were the ugliest and worst debates in American history, because, again, we want the debates to be political, but we want it in a way where they can showcase their facts, their information on what they want to do, how they want to change the United States, and they weren't able to do so during these debates. They were just attacking each other. They're taking... Now, evident, both candidates have something to talk about that aren't politics related, that really go against their ethics, go against their character, and it really showcased really who they are.
So let's bring up the topic of Obamacare. So Hillary is really for Obamacare, and Trump says it's a disaster. It's raising insurance rates all over the place, and it's just going downhill from here. Who do you agree with, and why?
I agree with a successful healthcare system. I think both policies have its benefit. Both policy has its weaknesses. Obamacare currently, insurance rates are going higher, premiums are going higher, but it is giving a vast majority of the individuals that did not have access to healthcare before access to healthcare now. But in Trump's plan, if you just side with certain policies of making the insurer benefit all their caretakers, now it gets to the idea of insurance makers might not be making as much, while the individual might not have as much chance to pick their own policy, to have their own doctor, even though Donald Trump says, you're going to have your own doctor, you're going to keep them, it's not going to change.
I agree. I feel like Obamacare is more focused on making sure everyone has health insurance, which I do believe that everyone should have the opportunity to health insurance. But the downside of it, it is expensive, and everything of it is becoming more expensive, which I believe that they should try to fix it. But that's something that can happen later on. You don't have to tackle it right away.
Yeah, and I think Trump likes to attack Obama every once in a while, and he likes to be able to go after his policies, and his whole platform of running is that he wants to change America and make America great again. But Clinton she's critiqued Obamacare a little bit, but still, obviously, she helped Obama with the policy, so she's going to back what he has established, and it's probably the biggest accomplishment he's made of his administration so far. And he's received a lot of criticism for him, but I think she kind of has to back him a little bit. But Trump's criticism of it can be a little extreme, but I think going forward there does need to be some change in some of the policies of it, because there definitely are some downsides too.
So what we've heard from Trump really is that he wants to get rid of it entirely, because it's a flawed system. And Hillary comes back and says, well, yes, it's flawed, but this is a good thing for the people, and it just needs to be reformed a little bit. It needs to be tweaked to become that program that Jeffrey was talking about earlier. So next up, we're going to talk about national debt. And
a lot of it.
We all know that Trump's plan has been called trumped up trickle-down economics.
As she likes to say.
And Trump just wants to bring companies back into the U.S. by lowering taxes, lowering regulations. And do you guys think this will work? I mean, it's said that there's many statistics. Many people are saying that it'll increase the debt, Trump's plan. I think both of their plans will increase the debt, but Hillary's is slightly less than Trump's. What do you guys think?
We look at the economical tables where currently tax on companies and corporations is 35%. Donald Trump wants to decrease this number to 15%. The question is, if we allow individuals like Facebook, they have their offshore corporation headquarters overseas, therefore they're able to avoid that tax. When Donald Trump says bringing the money, corporations have billions overseas, he's talking about the billions that they avoided to get avoided United States tax. But U.S. policy has it that if they avoid U.S. tax, they cannot bring those dollars back into the United States. That's why Trump's aspect is we have to bring those hundreds of billions of dollars back into the U.S. to stimulate the economy. But I think Clinton's policy is if you don't tax the rich, if you believe there's a trickle-down effect, if you believe that the rich will give money down the stream, I just don't think that's true. The rich will only get richer. They will only hold more of their wealth. So the concern would be if the rich only get richer, then what happens to the small employer at the factory that's building these products, that's manufacturing these products? How can they essentially get a higher wages and get more jobs and more hours?
Well, one question I have to ask is Trump trying to lower it for his benefit? Because Trump is a businessman at the end of the day. And one thing I've always wondered was he wants to bring jobs back. He wants to lower taxes for big corporations. But Trump himself, his name is a big corporation. So is he doing all of this to benefit him in the long run? That's a question that it hasn't been answered yet because Trump has never been answering it.
I don't think it was Trump's. I don't think it's just for Trump. I think it's the idea of you want to bring the money back because of the billions. But because, yes, it can impact Trump. But really, yes, can it stimulate the economy by bringing these billions of dollars back? Yes. But will it really work? If we bring these money debt and people just hold on to it, people don't use it, our debt will only accumulate.
And I think throughout all the debates, Hillary has made a very large point to emphasize that she is for the middle class, and that's a huge percentage of her voters, and that's what she's aiming for. And she likes to attack Trump and say that he's only out for the upper class and the wealthy. And I think examining their policies more to see how it will actually affect these classes is what voters should do before making their decision.
I agree. So we've heard a couple things today so far about the national debt and Obamacare. Next up, we're going to talk about Supreme Court justices. It's been told that the next president will be able to choose a couple of the upcoming Supreme Court justices, which will greatly impact our country, as huge decisions are being made in the Supreme Court. Who do you feel more comfortable electing an additional or two additional Supreme Court justices?
Who? It's a tough question. I honestly want to say Hillary, simply because the way Trump has been talking about Mexicans in the wall and Muslims, I feel like he wants to pick judges who share the same viewpoint as him. Although, like, yes, it comes down to votes for the Supreme Court, but it does impact what happens with the Supreme Court, because the Supreme Court literally allows the laws. If a law is made and the Supreme Court doesn't agree with it, it can't happen. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court has to agree with it, and I think that's really important to think about.
I think the biggest factor, if we look down in history, Ronald Reagan had 2 Supreme Court nominations. Bill Clinton had 2 Supreme Court nominations. George Bush had 3 Supreme Court nominations. And President Obama so far has 2 confirmed Supreme Court nominations. We looked at just a span of 20 years of the presidential election and how that really spans in a judicial court. The next person, that next president that gets to pick this Supreme Court justice, and we expect maybe Supreme Court Justice Ruth might retire sooner or later, it will really impact the future of where the United States stands, because after this span of 20 years, we don't expect there to be this big overhaul of Supreme Court justices in another 50 years. So we have that problem where we...
All right, we're going to have to wrap it up. We're going to take a quick commercial break as we listen to Numb Encore by Jay-Z and Linkin Park.
Thank you, far too kind.
Yeah. Ready? Let's go. Can I get an encore?
Do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, nigga, make some noise.
Get him, Jay.
Who you know fresher than Hov? Riddle me that. The rest of y'all know where I'm lyrically at. Can none of y'all mirror me back? Yeah, hear me rap, it's like hand G rapping his prime. I'm young H.O., raps Grateful Dead. Back to take over the globe, now break bread. I'm in Boeing Jets, Global Express. Out the country, but the blueberries still connect. On the low, but the yacht got a triple deck. But when you young, what the fuck you expect? Yep. Grand opening, grand closing. Goddamn your manhole, crack the can open again. Who you gonna find open in him with no pen? Just draw inspiration. Who you gonna see you can't replace him with cheap imitations of these generations? Hardcore, do you want more? Cook and roll with the Brooklyn boys. So for one last time, I need y'all to roll. Yeah. Now what the hell are you waiting for? After me, there should be no more. So for one last time, nigga, make some noise.
What the hell are you waiting for?
Look what you made me do, look what I made for you. Knew if I paid my dues, how will they pay you? When you first come in the game, they try to play you. Then you drop a couple of hits, look how they wave to you. From Marcy to Madison Square, to the only thing that matters is just a matter of years. As fate would have it, J status appears to be at an all-time high. Perfect time to say goodbye. When I come back like Jordan, we're in the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you, it's to aim at you, probably maim you. If I owe you, I'm blowing you to smithereens. Cocksucker, take one for your team, and I need you to remember one thing. I came, I saw, I conquered. From record sales, sold out concerts. So motherfucker, if you want this encore, I need you to scream till your lungs are sore. Come on.
I'm tired of being what you want me to be. Feeling so faithless, lost under the surface. Don't know what you're expecting of me, but under the pressure of walking in your shoes. Every step that I take is another mistake to you. And every second I
You're listening to The Decision 2016, the Colleges of the Fenway's political news show looking at the upcoming elections. And this is Wire, Wentworth Institute of Technology's radio station. We're going to turn our attention in this segment to debate content analysis. And later on in the hour, we're going to be joined by Stanley Emanuel, a Wentworth student. But first, the news.
The Chicago Cubs ended their 41-year absence from the World Series by pushing aside the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-0 in Game 6 of the National League Championship Series. Long subject of so-called curse, the Cubs continue their spectacular season at Wrigley Field late Saturday. They now head to Game 1 in the World Series in Cleveland, where they will face the Indians on Tuesday. The last time the Cubs appeared in the World Series was 1945, when they lost to the Detroit Tigers. The Chicago Cubs have the longest championship drought in the National League after winning the title in 1908. 108 years ago, the Cleveland Indians, which have the longest drought in the American League, has last won the World Series title in 1948. Our next article, 2 workers killed in a flood in the Boston trenches. The Boston Fire Department says it has recovered the body of the second of 2 workers who died in the trenches that flooded after a water main gate gave way in the city of the South End neighborhood. The department says in a Twitter message around 8:15 p.m. Friday that the recovery operations are now complete. The bodies are with the medical examiner staff and the Boston Police Department. The Boston Fire Department says 2 people were killed after they were trapped in the trenches when a water main broke in the South End. The weather for today, the highs is 48, the lows are 43. Sunny for Wednesday, the highs are 48, lows are 34. Sunny for Thursday, the highs are 46, lows are 43. Rainy.
Life is worth talking about. If you ever feel hopeless, in despair, or suicidal, please call or text 1-877-870-HOPE. That's 1-877-870-4673. Remember, you are not alone.
Do you dream of one day holding a federal government office where you have excessive amounts of work, endless stress, and find little to no enjoyment in doing so?
Just do it! No!
We didn't think so. If you're interested in politics, but don't enjoy all the work that comes with a federal or state office, check out Wentworth Student Government to have a voice in your college community. Meetings are every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. in BD 432. Your voice, our mission. Wentworth Student Government.
Hello, we're back, and you're listening to The Decision 2016, Wentworth's own political coverage of the November elections, where today we'll be investigating different perspectives of the presidential debates. I'm your host, Mark Murbach, and again, I'm joined in the studio this morning with Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, and Caroline Rennie. Later on in the hour, we'll be joined by Stanley Emanuel, a Wentworth student. And to begin this segment, we're going to start by talking about content analysis. So for those of you listening who don't know what content analysis is, it's a quantitative method which is used to study the effect of content on its viewers. So our class in Decision 2016, we pulled together some data using content analysis while watching the 3rd presidential debate. We asked some of these questions, such as, were the debate questions one-sided? Were candidates telling the truth? Who won the debate? Was it staged or scripted? And are they actually answering the questions? So for every time, for example, one candidate didn't answer a question, they received a tally mark on their side. And at the end of the debate, we formulated who didn't answer the questions more, and we analyzed whether it had a huge impact on the information viewers were gathering from the debate. So our group here in the radio today, we analyzed how many attacks went between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And if you watch the debates, it seems like Trump wants to interject a lot more, wrong, those types of things. And when in actuality, it's true. Trump attacks Clinton 2 times more than Hillary attacks Trump. What do you guys think of this?
I thought it was kind of typical. I thought that was going to be the outcome. I kind of went into it in a mindset that I thought Trump would be outweighing Clinton in that, and it was interesting to watch the debate and be looking out for those things. It was a new way to kind of watch it and be picking up on certain things, and the outcome did result in what I had thought it was going to be. But I also picked up that he not only would attack Clinton, he also threw attacks at other subjects such as the Obama administration, Bill Clinton, and then Clinton had her same amount of attacks to Trump, and then she even had one attack towards Putin, which was interesting that they would attack people other than their own opponent.
Can I just talk about how Hillary attacked Putin? And I thought it was fabulous of her to do, because Trump has denied several times he doesn't know Putin personally, but
that could be true.
But there is recordings of him saying Putin is his friend. This is a while back, so like he's denying Putin as a friend in the public eye. So
he's denying that he's friendly. That like you and I, we're friends. He's not best friends with Putin. That's the argument.
Yeah, but like, just the fact that Putin, Russia, we as United States and Russia don't want to be on the same path of stuff.
Yeah.
So just the fact that Trump has publicly denied it on the presidential debate, but in the past he said that he is friends with him, that I feel like that hurt Trump and his relationship with Putin.
I don't think so.
I
I think he just avoids the question, because Clinton goes after Putin for why? She believes I think she claimed 11 or 17 federal agencies and private agencies agreed that it was Russia. It was the top of the Kremlin going in, what are they called? Encrypting these emails, finding these emails, and essentially pointing them directly back at Clinton and saying, you did this because of that.
Wrong.
Well, she did get some coverage for what she had to say about Putin, but there was also a lot of discussion on how often Trump would even attack Bill Clinton. And do you guys think it's necessary for him to be attacking Clinton, one of our former presidents who's not even in this race, but is, because of his marital status, involved?
Is it necessary? No. But is it something to talk about nowadays in our society? Yes. I think Bill Clinton's scandal cannot be overlooked. Bill Clinton was a great president, but his end of his tenureship was bad. And people try to cover that up. People say Bill was great, his 8 years was great. We're not going to say anything about Bill. But there are certain things about the scandal that has happened where Trump is attacking Clinton to the point where Hillary Clinton defended Bill Clinton at every step, every way during the process, and actually accuse the ladies that were accusing Bill Clinton of misconduct. So I think that's something that, yes, Trump has the option to bring that up. Is it necessary? No, but is he able to do that? And should he be able to? I think it's yes, because everything's fair game.
Yeah. In a way, I see the recency of him talking about it as a deflection of what's coming up about himself personally.
Yeah.
And yes, Bill Clinton, I do not condone any of his past with his actions towards women, but I also think the convenience of Trump talking about and attacking it so much is a way to deflect the attention he's getting for his treatment of women, to be like, hey, look, someone is worse than me and has done this.
I agree. Definitely. It's something that he's using to take the spotlight off of himself. Even though these things are true, they are happening. He's kind of saying, well, I'm not the only one who's done it. Hillary Clinton's spouse is doing the same thing, or has done the same thing. So I don't want to say, is it really that bad? But that's kind of what Trump's trying to say. He's trying to deflect the blame onto him, off onto Hillary Clinton.
I just want to note one thing. if these accusations against Donald Trump is true, I'm not sure, I don't know anything. If these are true, I do not see, and again, if these drag out in the court system and there's evidence that he has assaulted or misconduct for the accusers, I don't see where Donald Trump should be eligible at this point to be running for president. There should be a certain threshold of ethics that if you have done anything wrong in that kind of capacity, you shouldn't be eligible. Now, yes, this has to be dragged out in court. It takes time. We might not know until a year or two. I just don't feel comfortable. People still saying to me, oh, it's okay. We can do whatever. But it really concerns me when Donald Trump is still on that ticket, still on that ballot. So yeah, that's the biggest problem. I think Trump should step off. Mike Pence should just come on and I think take the road, because I think that really hurts the ticket.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break as we listen to In the Morning by J. Cole.
Baby, you summertime fine. I let you get on top, I be the underline. I'm tryna get beside you like the number 9 dime. You fine as hell. I guess I met you for a reason, only time can tell. But well, I'm wondering what type of you want it. Do you like the finer things, or you a simple woman? Would you drink with it? Do you smoke weed? Don't be ashamed, it ain't no thing. I used to blow trees, getting lifted. I quit, I might get high with you. It's only fitting cause I'm looking super fly with you. A fly with you, a powerful, you do something to me. Cause girl, I caught the vibes like it do something to me. So I throw 'em back. Now my hollering, who is that? Oh boy, she bad. What you about to do with that? I'm finna take you home and sip a little Patron. Now we zone in. Baby, you're so fine. And can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? And can I hit it in the morning? The sun rising while you're moaning. And can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? And can I hit it in the morning? The sun rising while you're moaning. Baby, you wintertime cold. The night is still young, drink that dinner wine slow. I'm trying to make the goosebumps on your inner thigh show. I'll let you beat me there as far as finish lines go. Yeah, and if you gotta leave for work, I'll be right here in the same bed that you left me in. I love thick women cause my aunt, she rode equestrian. I used to go to the stables and get them kids to bet me. And I would always ride the stallions whenever she let me. I'm joking, I mean that thing is poking. I mean you kinda like that girl that's in the US Open. I mean I got this hidden agenda that you provoking. I got bath water that you could soak in. Things I could do with lotion. Don't need a towel, we could dry off in the covers. And when you think you like it, I promise you gon' love it. Yeah, when lights coming through the drapes and we're both yawning, I roll over and ask if I can hit it in the morning. Yeah, can I hit it in the morning? Yeah, can I hit it in the morning? Yeah, the sun rising while you're moaning. Baby, can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? Yeah, can I hit it in the morning? The sun rising while you're moaning. Hey, God bless the child that can hold his own. God bless the woman that can hold Patron. God bless her homegirl that drove us home. No strings attached like a cordless phone. You see, my intentions with you is clear. I'm learning not to judge a woman by the wear. Therefore you and judge it off the that you hear. Get all defensive, apprehensive, all because my career. To be fair, I know we barely know each other, and yeah, somehow I wound up in your bed. So where we headed from here? Just say you're scared if you're scared, but if you're through frontin', we can do something. And you know just what I'm talking about. Tomorrow you'll be calling out, cause tonight we getting right into the weed, mom. Cooking breakfast after sex is like a reward. Then I go my own way. You think about me all day, that's just a warning. And can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? The sun rising while you're moaning. Can I hit it in the morning? Can I hit it in the morning? Hey, can I hit it in the morning? The sun rising while you're moaning.
You're listening to The Decision 2016, the Colleges of the Fenway's premier source for all things political. Today on the show, for the third segment, we will be discussing the outcomes of the 3 presidential debates. I'm Mark Murbach, and I'm joined in the studio today with Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, Caroline Rennie, and our guest, Stanley Emanuel. But first, the news.
New York's Giants kicker Josh Brown admitted to domestic violence in letters, emails, and a journal, according to police documents. The documents were part of Brown's final case, filed by the Kings County Sheriff's Office, stemming from May 22nd of 2015. Arrest following an incident with his wife, Molly Brown. The Sheriff's Office and the Prosecutor's Office initially intended to postpone the filing of the charges pending the further investigation, with the Sheriff's Office recommending that the Prosecuting Office file charges of 2 counts of 4th-degree domestic violence. As of September 16th, charges has not been filed. A tour bus returning from casino steamed into the rear of tractor trailer on Sunday near Palm Springs, California, killing 13 people and injuring 31, according to state police. The bus driver was among those killed, and the truck driver was injured. California Highway Patrol Division Chief Jim Abbe said at a press conference injuries range from minor to moderate. The 1966 MCI bus operated by USA Holiday was returning to Los Angeles from the Red Earth Casino near the Salton Sea, according to Abid. The forecast for today, the highs are 48, the lows are 34, and mostly sunny. For Wednesday, the highs are 48, the lows are 34, and sunny as well. For Thursday, the highs are 46, the lows are 43, as well as rainy. The time now is 10:35.
Are you looking for something to do around campus? Do you love the thrill of intense competition? If so, come to the sporting events that are right here at Wentworth and support your Leopards. With a large variety of sports to choose from, you can go and watch your favorite team or your favorite sport. For more information on your next go-to activity, log online and go to www.wentworthathletics.com, where you can view all of the upcoming schedules from every team. Go Leopards!
Miss the rush of icy air brushing against your face as you shred down the mountain? If you miss skiing or snowboarding with an awesome group of people, or just can't fight the urge to learn anymore, you can join the Wentworth Ski and Snowboard Club before the season picks up. Contact us through our email, ski@wit.edu, or subscribe to our Facebook page, Twitter page, or Instagram page to get even more information. This is brought to you by the
Hello,
Leopards
we're
Den.
back. You're listening to The Decision 2016, Wentworth's own political coverage of the November elections. For today, we will be talking about the outcomes of the presidential debates. I'm your host, Mark Murbach, and again, I'm joined in the studio with Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, Caroline Rennie, and Stanley Emanuel. So, let me ask the question. What did you guys think of the outcomes of the debates? Did they achieve their purpose?
Yes and no. I personally wasn't an undecided voter before, but I think for many undecided voters, you got a glimpse of what Hillary Clinton's ethical and characters are. You also got a glimpse, more than a glimpse, of what Donald Trump ethics and character is. And I think from the debates, you're able to judge really what they're going to do as president. If they're going to stand at the podium representing the United States of America, they should have some kind of moral, some kind of code of ethic. And we were able to really see that and shine some light on that during the 3 debates.
Stanley, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Jeffrey. I feel like during the debates, the candidates really talked about the stuff that they need to. A lot of times the questions weren't addressed as much as they should have been. But besides that, I feel like both candidates, they kind of showed their character to the audience.
As viewers, what do you guys want to get out of the debates after we finish all 3?
As a viewer, I don't really care about their past or what they're doing right now. I care more about what they would do when they're in office. Because initially, this is why we're having a debate. We're having a debate, what would they want to do in office and how would they do it? But during these debates, they really didn't focus on it. They just wanted to attack each other, avoid the questions. But I didn't get the sense of what are all your policies? What are your plans for point A, point B, and point C? But I feel like they answered some of it, but when they did answer it, they didn't answer it to the fullest.
I agree with that. I feel like, especially in these presidential debates, it got out of hand pretty quickly. They would start off with a topic. I know in the third presidential debate, I felt like the first segment went really well. It was kind of calm. There weren't many attacks against each other. But then after that, it was kind of a free-for-all. I mean, they'd start talking about economics and then end up on Putin, talking about Russia. So it was just kind of all over the place, and I didn't feel like I got a full idea of what they would do as president. I just feel like most of the time they were focusing on, especially Trump, just attacking Hillary Clinton, just degrading her, making himself look better at the cost of her identity.
Stanley, I have a question for you. As a college student, how do you feel about these debates, and do you like where America's heading as a college student?
As a college student, after like watching debates and stuff, I feel like America is not heading in the right place as it should. Like both Trump and Hillary, they're good in the debating aspect, but as candidates, I feel like they're not really suitable for our nation, and our nation isn't really heading towards what we usually head towards, like Obama and other presidents have done.
So usually we see people kind of excited about a new president. It's usually, the last one is getting kind of old. Okay, we kind of need some policy change. We kind of need something else done to the country. But just like you said, I don't think this is going in the right direction. I mean, I feel like either it'll be a stalemate, nothing will get done in Congress, or we'll just be going down the wrong path, and the next president will have to reverse everything that just happened.
Yeah, I think everything's in play to the point of will the Republicans concede, or will the Republicans still have a hold of the Senate by the end of the elections? I think it's very important when we go into what can the president actually do. You can write as many policies or agree with as many policies makers as possible. If it doesn't get through the House, if it doesn't get through the Senate, if we have a stalemate, as we've seen for the last 4 years when the Republicans took over and they got majority control of the Senate, now what policies have actually gone through that benefited the United States as a whole during the last 4 years of President Obama's tenureship? Because it's so hard with different parties. That's the problem that we have.
Yeah, Stanley, what would you like to see happen in the next 4 years for America?
We have a lot of problems, like everything from economic policy to health insurance to all that other types of stuff. So I feel like we just have to focus on problems we have within the system itself, because it's clear that our system isn't working the way it should. Especially as Jeffrey just said, the Congress isn't. We have a split within the Congress, so it's so hard for presidents to pass what they want. And even when presidents have the support that they have, sometimes it doesn't even go through. So I feel like the system itself needs to be fixed rather than just the candidates focus on what they want to do.
Okay. And let me ask you one more question. How did you think the debates affected the election overall? Like, did you think that after each debate, Hillary had the lead, or do you think Trump got a spike in popularity? What do you think?
I think that majority Hillary probably won most of the debates, and I feel like a lot of the audience, after viewing the debates, that they choose Hillary over Clinton. Hillary over Trump, mainly because of what she said, and she was answering the questions rather than Trump, who was avoiding most of the questions that were asked.
We look at poll numbers for Donald Trump heading into these debates. Debate 1, Debate 2, Debate 3. We see slowly Donald Trump's national poll numbers slipping, as well as swing states. The debates did not benefit Donald Trump. Now, it's not solely just because of the debates. He's a pretty good debater. The things that have occurred with his scandals, with people coming out and accusing him of misconduct, this as a whole has impacted Donald Trump and his camp the most. If you really look at it, yes, people are still worried about Hillary Clinton's email scandal, but Benghazi was a big topic about Hillary Clinton. Benghazi has been put under the rug currently. The email scandal has been put in the forefront. But you have more targets against Donald Trump than you have to Hillary Clinton. Therefore, Hillary can emphasize a little more on what she believes is a correct policy, and Donald Trump has less time and less effort to really talk about policy, but to defend himself.
So we're coming up on the end of this segment. It's currently 10:44, and we're going to go to a quick commercial break and listen to Snap Yo Fingers by Lil Jon.
What's up, Phony? What's happening? What's up, Sean Paul? What's happening? Hey, now ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time now. About that time. Turn this thing on out. Now let me see everybody do this. Hey, let's go. Snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, then rock with it. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Don't drop with it. Do a step with it. Put your hips with it. All my ladies, let me see you put a twist with it. You can't do it like me. I'm by myself. I do it so good. I don't need nobody else. What's happening? What's up? Got that perk fired up. What's happening? What's up? Got Patron in my cup. I pop. I drink. I'm a Patron and perk. I can't think. I'm blown to go. Don't know how the hell I'm getting home. Hey, snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, strike from the back, posted in the act. Got to hit the club, we've been mobbing all day. Drinking on some rust, dying on patrol. VIP stats, strapped with my chrome. Look around the club, what do I say? Everybody rocking side to side to the beat. Snapping their fingers, bouncing to the groove. All by themselves, that's the new move. Nigga, where I'm from, we like to go dumb. I'm soaking up the game, I'm seeing how it's done. I shorty what they call it, she said the pool palace. Straight from Bankhead, I said you're good at it. What you do, you and your crew. They even got players and thugs doing it too. The more that I drink, the more it's looking smooth. It's nothing to a boss, I can do the shit too. Snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it. Let me see you do it. Hey, chillin' in the bill, yeah, we getting crunk. Niggas popping bottles and these bitches getting drunk. Rolling up the kush, put it in the air. I'm throwing up the E's to let them know we in here. Yeah, brand new shoes, brand new tools. Pull out the old school cause I'm feeling real cool. Yeah, I'm from the A, so I'm leaning and rocking. Snapping my fingers, then reaching for my Glock. Bitch, repping my block, straight from the dick. When you snap your fingers, shout it, gotta jerk your neck. Smoking on the best, we don't fuck with that mess. I bet you can't do it like this. Yeah, I'm back to the track, back to the snap. 1, 2 step, then you gotta lean back. Yeah, this is how we do it in the A time. And if you ain't know, this is how it goes down. Hey, snap your fingers, do your step. You can do it all by yourself. Let me see you do it.
Hello, we're back. You're listening to The Decision 2016, Wentworth's own political coverage of the November elections. In this last segment, we will be debating whether media has a positive or negative impact on the viewers and whether social media is an effective way of gathering news. I'm your host, Mark Murbach, and again, I'm joined in the studio with Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, and Caroline Rennie. So,
first, the news. Galaxy Note is not Samsung's only problematic product. Samsung has killed the Galaxy Note 7 smartphones this week after devices continue to burst into flames. But the tech behemoth has not extinguished scrutiny over its safety record. The South Korean manufacturer, which makes an array of customer electronics, including kitchen appliances and television sets, is in the middle of juggling another safety problem. Those include a recall in Australia for more than 144,000 Samsung washing machines that are prone to causing fire, and potential recall of defective laundry units in the United States. Making sense of the AT&T bid for Time Warner. And yet over the weekend, Mr. Beals agreed to sell Time Warner to AT&T for $85 billion, in a deal that, if approved by regulators, will vastly reshape the media and telecommunications world, and ultimately the way Americans will consume and pay for their favorite television shows. This is a good reason that Mr. Beal has been skeptical of big mergers that combine distribution and connection. They are complex and hard to make successful, and they face enormous headwinds from regulators who will undoubtedly tie their hands in an effort to protect consumers and anti-competitive behavior. The weather for today: the highs of 48, the lows of 34 and sunny. The highs tomorrow are 48 and lows are 34 as well as sunny. The highs for Thursday is 46 and lows are 43. And it will be rainy. The time today is 10:51.
Did you know 3 times the amount of water is used to produce a plastic water bottle as it is to fill it? Globally, 53 billion gallons of bottled water are consumed every year. 17 million barrels of oil are used in the production of plastic water bottles. That's enough oil to fuel 1.3 million cars for a year. What's more, 40% of bottled water is taken from municipal water sources like tap water. This message is brought to you by the Whitty Committee. For more information, please visit vanthebottle.net.
Would you like a healthy, efficient, and environmentally friendly way to get around Boston? Consider changing your commute for the better by riding a bicycle. Investing in a bicycle can help you travel to work or school faster while benefiting motorists by reducing street congestion. Not to mention the great workout you earn every time you travel. With a fitted helmet and safety lights, anyone can enjoy cycling to their destination safely. More information is available online.
You're listening to The Decision 2016, the Colleges of the Fenway's premier source for all things political. Today on the show, we've been discussing the 3 presidential debates. I'm Mark Murbach, joined in the studio with my co-hosts, Jeffrey Huey, Michael Carmona, and Caroline Rennie. So, we're going to start off this segment by talking about media, whether it's on television or on devices, social media. What do you guys think is going on with the media during this debate?
I'm going to start to talk off about Snapchat and the filters. When I was on Snapchat, I've seen people give Donald Trump the dog filter. I've seen people do a bunch of stuff with these filters that made me laugh, and it brought comedy to these debates, which was an interesting side of it, because the debates are supposed to be serious, but with these Snapchat filters, I feel like it made the debates more watchable because you can see the different filters each person would put on the candidates.
So do you think social media is reliable as a news source? I know that I use the Moments tab on Twitter a lot just to see what's going on.
Not
necessarily political, but just in general news.
Yeah, I think for Twitter, if some people that can't watch it on TV, they have Twitter, they have the Twitter feed, they have things that pop up of memes or things that people say, and they're okay. oh, this is an idea that we've heard, that we've thought about. Instead of watching it, they can still follow the debate. And I think that's one of the good things about social media.
Well, I think in general now, our generation relies on social media for so much of its news intake. The only downside to that is social media is such instant and snapshots into different topics. So a lot of times it's just sound bites that are making the headlines, and it's just little snippets. Like there was a report that came out from on Facebook that was 3.3 billion times debate-related videos have been watched since they've aired. And within that, the majority of the videos was one video when it's the clip of Trump telling Clinton she needs to go to jail.
Yeah.
So it's those kind of things that are getting the most attention out of all of the other policies that are being discussed throughout this time.
I really think it depends on which social media platform it is. Like, so with Twitter, you're getting instant news from across the world.
Yeah.
But with Facebook, it's more of you kind of wait. Oh, someone posts something. Like Facebook is more of a waiting game, but with Twitter, it's constantly someone can tweet stuff. But with Twitter, you're limited to the number of characters, which I think when you want to get a big news source, I feel Twitter doesn't get you the complete news you want to hear. So it just gives you a little, like a snapshot of it. And you can go on Facebook and get the whole story if you want.
So we polled many students as part of our class, and we saw that a vast majority of college students use social media as news. So hearing that only certain clips are being played over and over and over, do you find this concerning? Maybe views are being skewed, or do you think it's just all in fun?
I think views have to be skewed to a point where I'm not seeing the whole debate. I'm not seeing what was said before. I wasn't able to see what was said after. So it's taken out of context. And then I might misunderstand something by only viewing that clip. And essentially, we've looked at clips where in the 2008 presidential election of Sarah Palin, of certain things that she said during an interview, and really got to the point where people thought it was really her saying it, but it was misconcepted on SNL. So that's the image of, if you're only showing a clip of a debate, clip of a TV show, you're only going to sway the audience a certain way.
Yeah, and this also depends on who you're following, because a lot of times you can bias your own feed based on who you're following, because you may be leaning one way and you kind of hear what your friends have to think and aren't necessarily reputable news sources that you're getting all these clips and information from.
So with this idea of bias, I'll bring up a statistic that I found from dailywire.com, and I'm sure most of you have heard this before. I think it was mentioned in class. ABC, CBS, and NBC spent 4 hours and 13 minutes over the course of one weekend reporting accusations against Trump, sexual harassment accusations, while a WikiLeaks coverage of Clinton was only 36 minutes long. Now, from a bias perspective, do you think that this is posing the same problem as we find on social media?
Yes, news coverage on what topics? So if we talk about the misconduct from Donald Trump, it's going to be covered day after day. Why? It's because it seems like there's a new accuser day after day that comes out to accuse Trump. The issue that we have is WikiLeaks. If NBC and CBS, the major news stations, don't cover it, they say we might not have interest in it, or our viewers don't want to listen to this or see this. Then you get to the mindset of they're only fighting for views. Now is, what are you going to actually broadcast on your news stations?
And this goes back to what we were talking about in an earlier segment about content analysis and questioning where your information's coming from and if it's biased or not based on what you're intaking through the media.
Yeah, so with the news source being biased, I feel like the reason why WikiLeaks did something about Hillary is because the news stations didn't mention anything about Hillary in her emails. So I feel with this bias perspective, they are focusing on views, but say there's someone who's randomly just on the channel watching it. Now that they're getting the information about Donald Trump, they're going to be pictured about Donald Trump, not going to be what they had before, but instead what they just saw on TV.
Right, as you mentioned, WikiLeaks is acting as what we call the fourth estate in a way, fact-checking media outlets to make sure that they're presenting non-biased information and those types of things that we expect from media outlets. We expect to get the whole story. We don't want anything that's biased. So that, to me, that poses a great issue. I think that though it might have been a better story to showcase Trump's sexual harassment accusations, I do feel like they need to cover both candidates equally to give the public a clear idea of, this is what's happening.
Yeah, I think that's very important.
All right. So this wraps up the end of our fourth segment, and I hope all of our listeners out there found our talks to be entertaining, informative, and thought-provoking. So this has been Indecision 2016, signing off.
Everything is going to the beat. And everything is going to the beat.